Hi, I'm Ross from Kim Smith 150 Group Property Accountants. And who thinks I'm lying with my topic already? Who thinks that getting 100% return on investment's impossible and that there's no way that you can do that? I suppose what I'm trying to do in today's video is just getting you thinking a little bit outside the square, that the market has turned. If you want to get ahead in property, you can't just buy a stock standard new build that's got terrible cash flow or a stock standard existing property that's got terrible cash flow. It's just going to put you under yeah, huge cash flow problems, and potentially you're going to end up getting nowhere over the next 5 years, potentially, or worst case, having to sell the property and not make any gains. Whereas now it's time to look outside of the square, look at some different opportunities, look at some different things. So as soon as I mentioned, can you get 100% return on investment for what you're after, everyone's thinking it's a sales pitch. I'm trying to sell them a property, I'm trying to sell them into something, I'm trying to get you to invest into something I'm doing. Not doing any of those things. So here's a quick example, here's quick numbers on something that's just a little bit over 100% return. So the subdivision costs were $286,611. The deposit was $100,000. Key thing that look at is it's a deposit. The total cash required was $386,611. That's exclusive of GST. This project was buying a bit of land, subdividing it, and selling off the sections. So yeah, obviously a taxable activity. So obviously tax was paid on this profit, and it's also excluding GST. So GST cost has already been taken out of all these figures, and the profit is after GST has been taken out as well. So subdivision costs 286, deposit on the bit of land 100,000, total 386. Yeah, the key thing is deposit. Haven't actually purchased the land. So a real good trick that you can look at the moment with the market being very subdued is, can you buy subject to doing all your subdivision costs? So can you actually buy it, do all your subdivision costs, spend all the money, end up with titles through for your titles, and then pay for it? Or better yet, can you do your subdivision, get your titles, sell all your sections, and then pay for it? So there's lots of different options. This one was exactly that didn't have to pay for the land until a certain number of sections were sold. So yeah, the only cash that needed to be put in was for the subdivision costs, the deposits, 386,000. The total profit, after GST, and it's before tax, so you'd have to pay tax on this, was 402,000. So think really about how that could work, rather than just going, it's impossible to do anything with profit. You've got to start thinking outside of the square. So yeah, can you go to your neighbor and go, hey, I'm going to give you, I won't buy a section off you, but how about I pay all the subdivision costs, I subdivide it, I get title, I sell it, and then you get 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, whatever the figure is, depending on your area. And that way, you're only having to put up smaller money for subdivision costs. You've got less risk because you're not actually, if you sell the section now or not, you don't have huge interest costs. You've only got the cost of doing the subdivision that you're paying for. You're not actually paying for the land yet. Be very careful with sunset clauses. Obviously, if you have to settle within a certain period, that makes it a lot harder. So yeah, it is actually possible to make 100,000, and any sort of development in that, obviously looking at what is the return, what is the risk, and you need to look at the commercial reality of it. We look at heaps of different projects, and suddenly it's like, oh, I just wouldn't do that. There's not enough in it, or if it's becoming a rental, the cash flow is not good enough. It's just not worth the risk. Others, like that example I showed you, there is very little risk. It was a small spend. And yeah, compared with the return was extremely good profit of over 100%. So yeah, just think of different things. Maybe think of that one. Can you actually, do some projects, do the work, and then settle on it later? Great little trick that can really work well for you and get you better cash flow. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. And yeah, be very careful at the moment with that risk and reward. Make sure you keep really thinking in your mind the commercial reality. Does this project really make sense? And yeah, that's probably the main thing with the development, and the main thing where people get wrong is that they do projects that potentially there's not enough gain in there, and it's not worth the risk that they're taking. Cool. Thanks a lot, and hope you enjoy that. Bye.